Hello, my real estate friends. Hope your day is going great. So, we are in part two of our five-part little mini series where we're talking all about how we, as real estate agents, can sell with these higher than what we're used to interest rates, right? So, how we can still continue to provide solutions to our buyer leads to help them. Um, and if we don't have any buyer leads, you can actually use this strategy to lead generate. I'm going to show you how to do that. If you've got a listing that's sitting on the market and it has been sitting a little bit longer, you might, if you haven't tried this strategy, you might want to try this strategy to sort of boost that listing up. So, this particular solution that I'm going to share with you today, this will work in any single market. So, it doesn't matter where you're buying and selling real estate, this will work for you. All right. And I'm going to go ahead, share my screen to just jump right in it. So we're just going to, let me get this shared. All right, here we go. So I am licensed in Georgia and Louisiana. This is my Georgia MLS. So it might look familiar to you, but in any case, it doesn't really matter what MLS tool you use. This will work. You can do this. So here's the thing, our problem right now is financing, right? And the cost of living. So our solution we need to give them is going to be all about money and financing and all that stuff. So somewhere in your MLS, you should have a filter or a search, a way that you can search financing options. Okay. So in this particular case for Matrix, it's called proposed financing. So what we're going to talk about in today's solution is assumable mortgages. All right. And I'm going to tell you exactly what an assumable mortgage is in just a moment. Uh, if you don't already know what it is, but in any case, I've got 54 results that pop up. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to search my county that my lead is looking in. If I don't have any leads, then I am going to search the area that I primarily am focused on, the area that I buy and sell real estate in the most. All right. So, Gwinnett County, let's just roll with it. Let's see what pops up. All right. So we've got five results. The listing ranges at 2,000,007 oh shoot, 750, 569, 439, and 374. So let's say that my lead, let's assume that I have a lead that is in the 400s, right? So I might click on this one. The very first thing I am looking at on this listing is I am looking for any information that the listing agent is sharing about the assumable mortgage and the assumable terms. And this one in particular, this listing agent is on top of their game. They've got it right there in the public remarks, loud, proud, first thing you read, assumable loan at 5.125%. So, what does that mean? Assumable loan essentially means that this seller, this person who's looking to sell their house, they called their bank and they said, "Hey, I need to sell my house. And can you offer that whoever comes to buy my house, can you give them my same terms? Can they assume my terms of my loan, keeping my terms, keeping my rate?" Some banks say no, but there's a chunk of banks that say yes because they don't want to lose that loan, right? So as soon as they know, as soon as the seller sells the house, the loan's done, the seller's gone, and the new buyer very well may go use a different bank, right? So that lender doesn't want to lose that loan. So sometimes they will say, yes, we will let them assume that interest rate. Now, what that means for your lead is that whatever lender you might be working with that lead, that lead would then need to go with this seller's bank, okay, and get pre-qualified and run everything through this bank in order to assume that rate. All right. So, but this is how you're able to provide a solution. So let's, for example, and I ran some round numbers just for example purposes. But let's say this house at 439, and I've got my lead, and we've been looking at houses in the 440 price point. They've been getting prices of about $3,600 a month at an 8% interest rate. Okay. Well, if I bring this house to my lead, and maybe my lead hasn't seen this house because it doesn't have that big yard that they've been looking for. So we just didn't even look at it, right? But now I pull it and I'm like, look, this house doesn't have that yard that you're looking for, or maybe it doesn't have that master on the main, or maybe it is 5 miles out of that radius that we've been searching in. But, and here's the big but. The big but is that at a 5.125, we can get this mortgage at around $2,800 a month. Well, if they've been looking at 3,600, that's an $800 a month difference. That's a chunk of change, right? $800 a month. So they very well may be able to say, you know what, we will consider driving 5 miles out of the area. We will consider that smaller yard, or, whatever there is on their list. If this can save them $800 a month, it might be worth a shot, right? So, with that being the case, if they like the house, we set up an appointment, we go look at it. All right. And that's how we would do that. Now, let's look at another one. Let's say this one, for example, built in 2008, they're at 375. What I might do is I might flip through these photos and I might say, yeah, I think this is a house that my lead would definitely be interested in. And so let's see, I'm looking on the listing, and on this particular one, I don't see anything about the rate. I don't see anything about the assumption of the mortgage. So on my keyboard, I'm going to go Control F and I'm going to type in assumable. And so right here it says assumable no, but then under financing, it's got assumable highlighted, or assumable is selected. So what I might do in this case is I might call this listing agent and say, hey, is this loan assumable or not? And then, kind of get the details. If it is, then I'll say, okay, cool. What is that rate? Because look, some of these rates very well may be in the threes or the fours. And so if this fits the criteria for my lead, minus one or two items, right, off of their list, that big but is the money. And money is a big topic of conversation right now. So I might use this as a solution to help them. To lead generate, what I would do is I would ask the listing agent for permission once I know what the terms of the rates are. And then I might, ask them for permission, share some of the photos, and then share in the details of my promotion to lead generate. Say, hey, look, you can own this home for X amount of dollars per month. And if you're lead generating and they're renting a house, the total of the price that it would cost them to buy very well may attract them, because if they're renting, they're paying whatever today's market is anyway. If you have a listing that has been sitting a little bit longer, you can definitely use this same exact strategy. Just have your seller call their bank, see if those terms can be assumed, see if that rate can be assumed. And now you have a whole new marketing strategy to use to be able to promote that listing, get it out there, get it in front of these buyers. And so, yeah, I hope this was super helpful for you today. And I look forward to the next one on our part 3 of our 5-part little mini series. Nothing left for us to do but get out there. Let's get it. I'll see you on the next one.